Guests, please welcome the happily exiled, Guinness drinking, corned beef eating, MC for the day, Irishman Speaks, Conor Cunneen.
Well, well, well. Isn't it amazing what you find when you're out walking the land? A camera right here in front of me, in the middle of the highway. It's unbelievable. Does it work? It does. Let's see. Crikey, it does. Hi everyone. Conor Cunneen, Irishman Speaks here, and it's absolutely great to be at Facilitator, where all our experts are great. You'll have engagement and laughter, life lessons for after, and we'll get you out before late. Hi Zoomers and Fascinators, welcome to this virtual program, a program where Schitt's Creek will not win one award. But what I do promise you is that you will be a winner, because you will go away with some great insights from some fascinating speakers here today. Now, before we go too far, just to give you a good idea of what the lay of the land is going to be, each of the speakers will speak for 8 minutes. And you've got a large number of 7 experts here today who have spoken in places from South Africa to South America to San Antonio, from exotic places like Colombia, Canada, and even Kankakee. So all of these people are here to energize you, and our plan is that at the end of Fascinate, you will leave with a smile on the face, with a spring in the step, and with some really good insights to help you in your business or in your personal life during what is definitely some really challenging times. Now, and welcome everyone. And one of the things I would like to do initially is, and I'd like to have an idea as to where people are actually zooming in from. So if you would just hit the chat box there for a second, please, and let me know where people are zooming in from. We'll see what's happening. So, okay, we've got Chicago. Chicago, we've got Skokie, Naperville, Denver, Colorado, Reno, Nevada, Virginia, Vernon Hills, Chicago South Suburbs. We've got quite a number of other places, Rockford, Illinois as well. All right, Albuquerque, New Mexico, one of my favorite cities, I gotta say. Well, welcome everyone to Fascinate. Now, our organizing panel and group put a lot of work into making this a really good event for you. And in fact, we actually created some what I would refer to as rules of engagement, or actually requests of engagement, just to make sure everything works out really well. And what they actually did was they put together a published list of the rules of engagement. So I want to show you the rules of engagement that we've actually got here right now. And they've asked me to actually identify some of these rules and actually to read out the rules of engagement to you. So page 1. Sorry? You don't want me to read out all of the rules of engagement? Okay, all right. Okay, we'll summarize this. I put together, just in case they wanted me to summarize, I actually put together some high quality audio visual slides for the rules of engagement to make sure that you have a really good, fascinating presentation and event here today. A rule of engagement number 1 is, please mute. Make sure you stay muted during this session. Now, our speakers love feedback. But as you can appreciate, as you know from the Zoom virtual events you've been doing, when we've got noise in the background, it can be an issue. And if one of our speakers or presenters is giving you some deep, thoughtful, emotional moment, and we hear your 15-year-old kid playing a Metallica riff in the background, well, it kind of distracts things a little bit. Okay, so that's number 1 rule of engagement. The second rule of engagement is the chat box. Yes, chat box. Okay. And basically what we're looking for here is that the chat box can be very, very useful, but can also be really distracting. So we will ask you when the speakers are presenting to be respectful of the amount of time you spend on the chat, because what tends to happen is that, let's say John pops something into the chat, Hayden actually disagrees with him, Barbara then comes in and makes a comment, and then Catherine starts creating World War III. And what's been happening is that our speaker is presenting a program on world peace. Okay, so we don't want any of that. The final one is that we will also possibly be doing some polls, yeah, POLLS, that's very good, here during this presentation as well. A couple of quick points on that, especially for all of you who are zooming in from Chicago. You can vote early, but you're only allowed one vote. And mail-in ballots also will not be accepted. This is not an ideological thing, it's basically a practical thing, because by the time you complete your mail-in ballot, you actually go out and get a stamp, you lick the stamp, you put the stamp on the envelope, etc. We'll be planning Fascinate 2024. I now want to introduce our first speaker for Fascinate. But before we do that though, I want to explain how we will actually introduce the speaker. I'll do the standard intro, and then what I would like everyone to do, I will say to you, is press the space bar and hold down. That will unmute you, and we'll do a little, and I'll ask you then to mention the speaker's name. I'll give you the speaker's name 3 times, okay? So let's do a little test on that just before I introduce our first speaker. So what I would like you to do on the count of 3 is to hold down the space bar and shout out space bar, space bar, space bar, okay? So on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3.
Space bar, space bar, space bar.
All right, okay, we've obviously got a spaced out audience here. Very good. All right, so our first presenter for today is Hayden Shaw. So fascinators, what I want you to do is to hit that space bar, and on the count of 3, now wait for it, we shout out Hayden, Hayden, Hayden. So on the count of 3, press the space bar. 1, 2, 3.
Hayden, 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 Hayden.
Gentlemen, Hayden Shaw.